Good morning, afternoon, day, night, holiday, whatever. It's North Star
For
Ball.
us, it's the morning.
Yeah, we have locals coming up. I have a wedding to go to today as of recording. So weird timing on everything today or on this video. But we here do something a little I think we don't really do this because we usually wait until like the big release, don't we? Like big set
Yeah,
reveals, color reveals, but I think this
I mean,
stuff is fun enough, so
mhm. Well, in particular, we get to do a little bit of speculation, which is really cool. Today, we're looking at the Draft Box 6 Giant Force preview. We got basically two colors for all, or two cards for all the main colors, a couple multicolor cards, and then two of the campaign rares, the Giant Force rares. Um,
they look
and we'll just
sick.
make sure that we talk about each of those and kind of we'll review the cards in kind of in a vacuum and then what we think they'll do, and then we'll talk about what maybe like the rest of the archetypes do within that set.
Yep. So we'll just get right into it. It's your host Dom and Dane
So,
back at it again. I still need a new picture. Mine's blurry as f. But red, um, King Piccolo Saga stuff. Which,
a little early.
yeah, I mean, I think as we go through, we'll see like draft box. This doesn't feel like there's like themes too much. Maybe we'll see because there are only like two cards each color spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like because of yellow and the higher dragon that it's kind of like supplementary stuff that's pretty generic.
Mm-hmm.
Like this King Piccolo basically just reads, "Hi, I'm Bardock for a turn, but you don't have to deal with anything else. Just play me."
And no blockers.
And no blocker on this card's attack.
Like so I just want people to realize this. Red now has three different cards that you free play just for like doing your normal game plan that are all very powerful and have a keyword. You free play Tau because you have three cards. You free play Bardock because you crit them, and you free play Piccolo because you have a unison.
It's just like it's free. This helps with the aggression style of Red's identity. That's kind of been lacking a little bit, I think, compared to like some other combination of colors and stuff. I know Peel Off was there, but he had to wait till turn 3 to go off, and it was kind of weird. This at least like helps you apply more pressure early when you have your unison out turn
Two.
2 at the earliest, because you just pay 2 and then like +1.
And I,
Um,
I do think this card is going to like it's clearly an SR worthy card. Um, but there's still going to be some red decks that might not play it, but it should kind of start to become a staple, similar to Bardock or Tau, where it's just like if your deck accomplishes three markers on a unison, you'll probably just play it.
you like literally can turn to play a unison. Yeah, so
And
like
then
you're
put
playing Peel
out
Off. You're playing Peel Off. You play a unison. You play
plus it.
pick you plus it. You play Piccolo. You play um Tau needs 3 cards or 2. He needs 3,
He
doesn't he?
needs three. He needs three. He's the fourth. So maybe not like the turn two hyper aggression, but there are decks where that could happen because like if you think about Broly swap upcoming, man,
Oh
they
yeah.
just got two different double strikers after having all of those crits and like pulling cards from people's hands. That's so crazy.
Oh no, Dane, Peel Off. You can turn 2 because you have Shu on turn 1.
But
Duh.
his effect, but they only the turn one, got it.
So you got Shu or Bunny Girl turn 1, and then on turn 2 you Unison, King Piccolo, Overrealm,
Well, I don't even think overall, man. I think I'm serious. I really think the way
Tau Bardock,
with is no well,
Awaken.
yeah. So Tau Bardock Awaken. I really do believe that the future for Pilaf um, is going to include Slug, like the new Giant Force Slug, and we'll get to that card.
Oh
But
yeah.
I think like that crit is more important than Double Strike when it's a 2 versus a 3
Oh, there
cost,
you go. Yeah, crit, Bardock,
and then it triggers Bardock, and then
Tau.
you get oh
You got 4 cards. You just played like 3 cards for just having a unison in play with critical.
crazy. Really good card. Really just kind of speaks for itself. The not being able to activate blocker on its attack is also really good.
Hmm.
Because it's a double strike in those aggro matchups, blockers can sometimes be like ways that they don't die. I think specifically about like Goku Hit, who blocks twice.
Gross.
And so like you restand and so you're like, all right, I have to stop this attack and then another attack, and then well,
And then
Piccolo doesn't care.
that auto at the end of your turn send this card to owner's warp. That's why probably really good in peel off because you just be like, cool, unison attacks 3 times
Hmm.
because he's just gonna leave anyways.
You get to keep some of your pieces or some of your other bodies out.
Yeah. I think that's all I got for Piccolo. I don't know if there's any other ways like clear him from the board early for other effects or something. I don't
I
think
mean,
there is
honestly,
right
he's the
now.
most generic one that like even in this box, he's the most generic SR that we
If
see.
you can give him 5k, like with Corrin's Secret Medicine and then Awaken, dang, he's
Mm.
25.
Mm.
Turn 2 peel off
Interesting.
Heartfelt Plea.
Interesting.
Interesting. Corrin's
All
Tower
right.
Secret Medicine. Hey, look, there's
This card.
beans.
So it's really I love in the Facebook group because they're having this discussion where in the designer notes they specifically mention Sensu Bean, and then everyone that's not part of it is saying that it's nothing like Sensu Bean. But the truth is, much like usual, somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. I
It's a
mean, you
little
can't
like
you
the
can't exactly give every color Senzu Bean because that'd just be dumb.
um, red has the identity of minusing, and now it has one through barrier. So with with a lot of what red has been doing, if people are not aware, there are already like 5 or 6 cards that can plus your leader by 5 during a turn, like defensively. Um, like some notable ones are Vegeta exploiting weakness, and then if you're playing a red Saiyan, which many times you are, Unending Awakening is a negate and the +5. Um, so I think this card is probably likely going to be a sideboard card, and then it just helps remove the little barrier dudes. And
Specifically
then you
right now, like Bobbity for AOD, great hit.
we might be
Wings,
seeing wings coming up.
yep, great hit. So
Um,
any of those like early cards that set up combos.
and it's not always even like that, right? Like technically, if you have a couple of these, you can try to get through a 10k barrier or a 15k barrier. Um, or realistically, it's just like anything that's annoying and small.
True.
Zombie Bulma, gone. Um, it helps remove just like anything little. It's a pretty good card, and it's usable on both players' turns, which is pretty important. I don't like that you have to wait for your opponent's turn to get the -5 on a card, because that means that if they're sitting on another one, like a Bobbity or Wings, they can just reestablish it.
Hmm.
Specifically, I think Bobbity that's really good for, because then it's like, okay, well, they reestablish it, and then Garlic is back live. So,
At least then they're just wasting. They have to waste the energy to play it, which is kind of crucial for AOD.
mhm.
Definitely the early, like their early aggression, but I think, yeah,
With
like
red,
we
you don't
said,
want a 1-to-1 for energy, though.
yeah, that's true.
So we'll
That's fair.
see.
Yeah, we'll see. I definitely agree with sideboards. Good spot for it.
It is a good card.
Yeah,
If you think this card is bad, you're wrong. If you think this card is broken, you're wrong. But
yeah.
it's
I,
a good card that has a lot of applications, and I think that's what makes it good is just the variety.
I like seeing more like sideboard worthy cards come out that are not black,
Hmm.
because that like if you need to charge something, having like 8 black cards in your hand because you sideboarded something sucks.
Doesn't feel good.
So I think this is great. Great direction for some cards and some of these effects.
I think this is probably the hardest archetype or hardest color to make any speculations for, because both of these cards are so generic.
Yeah.
Um,
And
so
like
with King,
my King Piccolo prediction in set 12, which
might be a tad early.
we got more info on that too with the GTS website having rejuvenation. So
Mhm.
King Piccolo is most likely still set 12 like I guessed. But
And
yeah,
then maybe we're just getting more Dragon Ball style cards, but we'll have to see.
I like that. Are you ready for blue or you got one more thing? I kind of cut
Always
you off.
blue.
Always blue.
Always go to blue.
Hey, wait, this is Bardock. Wait a minute, he was
Bardock
yellow, I
Ape.
thought.
Wait, Bardock Ape.
Wait, Bardock
Wait.
ape
Uh-oh.
in a draft
I'm
box.
getting flashbacks.
Two energy.
2 energy to play it. Oh god.
Oh no. No,
Double strike.
double strike.
20k.
He's a blocker. So this
But
is
now
kind of
he's a
like
blocker.
it's kind of like a mix of the two popular
Will of
ape
Iron.
Bardocks, Will of Iron and
Rage
Warcry.
War.
Hey, but this guy
Uh,
evolves for 2 over any blue Bardock with a cost of 2 or more.
and it evolves for your energy, which is super good because that means that it's basically Warcry, but it's a 0 5k.
Oh shit.
Uh,
You're right. I just see
uh,
blue.
and being a blocker is just really good. Playing a 20k blocker on turn 2 is swell. There are a lot of cards that restand 5-drop Bardocks in like the Bardock Screw archetype. So
The 5 cost, or do they
cool.
say specifically the
I think
SR?
many of them say Bardocks with an energy blue Bardocks with an energy cost of 5
Yeah, I think Tora
or more.
does. Not Taurus, Fasha.
Certainly Tora's red armband does.
I know it only picks the SR by name.
Does it?
Yeah, I looked.
Mm.
Those people jumping on the SPR buyouts. Unless there's
Good
a
thing
way to
I've
cheat out the
I think
5 drop.
no. I think I've got 2 of the Bardock, but none of the armband.
Yeah.
Anywho, um, so honestly, the like when a card in your energy evolves into this card, you draw 1, and then at the end of the turn you switch to active mode, and then replace the energy.
Yeah, in wrestling.
Why?
Well, at
Why?
least it locks even blue Saiyan, but like that's still pretty good for Vegito.
That's I mean, Vegito, the blue Bardock leader is still fantastic.
I
Like
wish there's a way to
it
flip them earlier than 4. That'd be so good.
like it really even without that, like since it self awakens and then like on the backside you have a really strong built-in self defense for like big double or triple strikes.
hmm
Like it's just a good card.
We just need ways to use the burst.
Uh, which right now you can just run grade apes. You can there are like other things that we have more options now for burst than we ever did before, and it
Yeah.
also just makes sure that you're at sparking. So
Actually,
this
putting
card's just
Dispo
really
in the
good.
Bardock crew deck, grabbing the 1 drops that search for cards,
Mm-hmm.
could be good.
They
Oh,
erase
skills get
skills.
skills. I keep forgetting that. They should just don't.
No, that would be so broken. That'd be so broken. Um, so Bardock though, it's really interesting that they gave us because the blue now has got stuff that either evolves or like fuses out of energy on what like 6 different cards. It feels like now all the Zamasu, Goku Black, Vegito, and now Bardock stuff does that. And this is the first card that replaces it if you have a blue Saiyan
That's true.
card.
That is true. Another thing to point out is blue Bardock costs of 2 or more, so we'll probably get more blue Bardocks, of course, it looks like. So this one may be more archetypal
I,
because Bardock's
I
grew.
presume we'll yeah. I presume
Um,
we'll get more Bardock Screw. And I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna keep it a little generic to kind of have its own archetype, but I don't think it'll be quite like the Universe 2 stuff from um Draft Box 5, where like it just like honestly didn't play at all with the old Universe 2 stuff. Sure, you could like force it to, but I think they'll try to specify it. It's not an accident that this Bardock costs 5.
right.
We'll just say it's not an accident.
No, no.
and it's not an accident that it's a great ape. And like, so we'll be able, I'm sure there will be cards that specify things in the in the older cards that also specify this, because that archetype is really close to being good. It just takes a little bit too much setup. So if there are ways to cheat stuff in, or if there's ways to um specifically cheating in like the other people is what's really important, because then you can get their effects on your 5-drop Bardock, because he's fine to get in play, but this one's just like good.
Yeah, I'm gonna backtrack 1 second. I didn't look at card numbers. Okay. Corrin's Tower is number 22. Oh, this set's a little smaller. Piccolo's a
Yeah,
15, so there's probably gonna be some Gokus and stuff.
I think there's going to be like 25 per color, because Bardock is 27 rather
Yeah,
than
Bardock being
31.
27 means that there's gonna be like no Vegetas or Gokus or any of the main Z characters, so it's probably gonna be a lot of Bardock's crew, it looks like. Bardock's crew and
Safe.
probably
I
some
guess if
like
this is 27, do we just assume? Well, is red going to go to? Yeah, so red going to 25. I presume that we're getting one, maybe two more Bardocks then, because we'll get one for DB 26, and then maybe one for 28.
probably. I think
But the
it
SR is at
goes
the end, though,
no,
right?
it goes by I think it goes by form, like the highest forms first. Because
Hmm.
like in set 11 it was SS3 Goku Xeno, Super Saiyan Goku Xeno, Base Goku Xeno, or something like that.
Okay.
It goes like that. Guys, numbers are important to this game. Card numbers. You just gotta
Interesting.
know the puzzle. It's really
All right.
easy. Uh, Last thing I want to say about this is the evolve ruling stuff because ugh they have a big thing in the rule book about Union Pataring from your energy or warp, and they left out evolve getting the same thing. Shout out to Jake for bringing that up to me, and I've been advocating in the judge group to try to get like something changed in the rule book. Get the same thing added that's in Union Patora into the rule book for evolve because
Which means
consistency.
what happens if you counterplay a Union Patora?
So if you counterplay, like if you God Sealing Trunks like a Union Patora that fuses from warp or draw or energy, the cards used to come out and be uncounterable. They still are uncounterable if the card makes it through all the way. It used to be if you were to counter it, the cards just come out for free. Now, if the card gets counterplayed, the cards just stay in their original area. And that was ruled at Gen Con for the Goku Black Rose evolving over one of its energy, which at the time counterdicted the ruling for Union Batara. So that's like a whole mess. But I'd love to talk to like judges about and like whoever was the head judge for that and be like, why was this so backwards to this and now we're changing it to match that ruling? Like, whew, I could go on a whole rant about this. I'm sorry.
Hmm.
I just like consistency in the rule book, and that way we have less Q&As, and that way there's less confusion on rulings at events because it's all in a rule book that we can just like, hey, this section here, instead of being like, because this happens the same way as this, we'll just assume it's this. Should never have to assume in a card game with a rule book.
Hmm.
Intersecting Fates. I'm just gonna drop it there. I can go on forever for that. Dane,
Broken. Card's broken.
you like this card, Dane?
Yeah, it's kind of
It's
broken.
kind of broken.
Blue right now has been tapping out, or like near tapping out recently, but Baby and Invoker are two blue decks that like to keep a lot of energy up. This right here just says, but what if you were more consistent? That's all it is. One energy, draw a card, and then you restand the energy. Like, this card would have been okay if it didn't have the restand the energy, but it has the restand the energy, and so it's broken.
Yeah, because it's you get to cycle two. You get to look at two cards and pick one,
Hmm.
and then bottom deck the other, which is great for Overlord servant decks.
Like
So
this
like
this card
baby.
is just good. Like I really I don't have a whole lot to say about it because it's pretty self-explanatory is that you just filter and all it takes is like a blue deck that's either a little bit slower or doesn't tap out every single turn. And here you are, you know. This card's great in jeez, I mean like everything.
Yeah, I don't see like if you can't afford Goku Ape, this is a good replacement for now. Like great replacement for now.
I
C2
mean it
cards
doesn't
still draw one card at least for one energy. You still get the one for one energy.
sure. So you don't plus in your hand, but you at least start to filter, which a lot of times is what Great Ape does. Is like it adds plus, but it also lets you see two more cards for more options.
Hmm.
This card lets you do that.
All right, you ready for what's next?
Well, I mean, we could just. I guess we already said the Bardock's Crew speculation, so yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, pitch
Green,
Bardock Screw. There's a lot of Bardock Screw on the picture. Green.
green.
Hey, what the? That's a bug. We got Hirudegarn.
Yeah, but we got to talk about the generic one on the left first. So, don't really understand a couple of the things.
Triple Strike and Barrier.
Yeah, why barrier?
I think it's because in set 4 when the Hirudegarn stuff came out and we had that SS3 Dragon Fist Goku, that one also had Barrier. But that
Mhm.
also kind of made sense for blue because I think it was only a double strike.
Blue is really more of a barrier
Yeah.
color.
That one was
Um,
double strike and also like drew you a
restand.
card or something. Oh yeah, restands.
This card is actually kind of nuts, like
Dang,
super
I don't
nuts.
see enough red text after that activate mains. Where's the once per turn?
uh, that's a good question. Um, if
Oh
you'd
no.
like to just destroy your opponent's barrier cards and just outright kill their unison for just a couple cards, you can go ahead and play this for 5 and then just oh, that's a nice dark Broly that you got there with 6 markers. Would be a shame if if I just dropped 3 and killed it, or if I swung into it and dropped 1.
The guy
That
gets
would
rid of
be
5
crazy.
markers on one swing and one card in hand. Holy crap. And KO's a
Um,
card at the same time? Like without caring in the world? What? Did the green
and
get a generic
I
finisher? What is this?
green got a generic finisher, and then it also has like a use early game for like 1 green, just dropping it
Y
from your
you
hand to
know,
remove a unison
that
counter.
reminds me of another card like that in green.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
kind of like if that's like a new theme they're going for green,
is
having your
removing unisons
oh no, having your big cards have effects in hand, like Ape,
because
because
it's
it helps you keep control and be more value and not having to like
mhm.
hold on to your card forever.
It's a 110K. Honestly, that's its biggest weakness. Green is like the least energy efficient color in the game, like even worse than red. um, and so it's really just like paying 5 sounds a little harsh, but if you just like smack this into Dredge Coup or something, I don't know what they're supposed to do. And like because the thing is an activate main, you can play around dormant potential then, because you could just like kill off your opponent's thing and then or unison and then start to go in. And man, this card's so good.
I'm a fan. I like how you could even get it out a turn early with Hope of Future, right?
Save a hopeful future.
Save
Yep.
Hope of Future, and then they did mention in the design notes using the Goku from set 10 because he's a 5-drop green Goku. The
It's just like another target in case if you're
yeah,
playing that archetype,
the archetype that goes with the set 10 Goku leader.
which people kind of have abandoned. I do think it's a good archetype. I don't know if it's good enough for competitive play. It just takes too many slots in a deck.
I think once we get better
Um,
cards to put in there,
And well, but the thing is that we do have pretty good cards, right? We have Vegeta the Cruel, Piccolo Simulated Ability, the Burst Piccolo from the Universe 7 stuff. You have like draw card Krillins, you have free blocker Gohan, newfound power Gohan. We have plenty of good targets. It's just like right now, your deck has to be like 45-ish cards of like best cards for the deck, like best cards in game. And then you get 5 spots to be kind of cute with to make sure that you can handle certain matchups. You don't get as much space as, say, we did in set 4, 5, 6.
Hmm. It's a
Really good
Goku.
card.
It's a Goku.
It is a Goku.
Goku. Number 52. Wait,
Having names are important.
52, you say? I think,
It's 51, so there will be another Goku.
yeah, another SS3 Goku. I don't think,
Mm,
no, they wouldn't do, unless there's a Raditz randomly. Raditz for some reason comes ahead of Goku.
weird.
Yeah, I thought so too. Maybe because he's older.
Mm,
Yeah, whatever.
who knows?
Hey, Bugman.
Hoodagarn's like the ugliest villain,
Ugliest mother.
like even among Dragon Ball villains in movies. It's just like doesn't make any sense. Giant
Critical.
bug.
Hey, that's a green Turk keyword.
It is a good keyword.
So it's interesting. He evolves for free over a forecast. We have no Hirudegarn forecast yet. So hey,
Guess
more
what's coming?
more Hirudegarns. Number 69. So like what? That's
Nice.
there's yeah, nice. It's a nice card. So there's probably gonna be a few more extra cards, and then like some base form Hirudegarns will come after that. So we got like probably 4 more Hirudegarns or 3 more Hirudegarns.
Which is
Uh,
neat. I
yeah.
think I think this card introduces, so for those that don't know, it's basically like choice dot card.
Hmm.
So when this card is removed, like by an opponent skill or KO'd, which its activate battle will KO it, you can either play a different Hirudegarn, the one that you evolved from, or the 9-drop blue one from set 4.
Yep.
Um, or your opponent has to ditch 2 cards, and you get to choose them. Um, this is just pretty strong because it's like either you replace them, and even in the 9-drop, still warps a battle card on play, right?
Yep. He
Pretty
warps
sure.
a card from their hand. No, top decks. Top decks are warps. I know Hirudegarn has a lot of top decking effects.
I think he might top deck a battle card
He
or
ta
a card in hand
he top decks a card in hand. He can send himself to the no. I
to the
think
warp
yeah,
for
he sends himself
protection.
to the warp. Or Ectoplasm sends him to the warp also, and then puts him back in play at the end of the turn, and that still triggers all the back in play effects.
Hmm.
Yep.
So like the 9-drop is great. It's like a 30k barrier beater.
Yeah, the nine
Um,
drop's really good, especially you can get more of them out now. Like you can probably get them out pretty fast. It looks like this
with this
and
card,
evolving over the power booster.
mhm, like it's pretty great. And then like so the choosing to KO this card, if you keep this card out, they have to kill it before they can go in on a battle card, which is nuts. Because then they do kill it, and then you
Well,
get to play the 9-drop.
they
They
can't
drop
even
2
swing at
cards.
it. They combo to try to swing at it to kill it. You're just like, cool. You just KO it anyways. Then
KO it.
it
So
got
like
KO'd.
they have to do it off of a leader or a battle card swing, which is bad. It like they have to kill it in a way that isn't they have to kill it and then play their boss card, or the boss card has to have barrier. Like this card's just really good, and anytime I think it would have been nicer if your opponent got to choose the effect. It might make the card a little bit worse in terms of like its strength while it's on board. But I think what people really underestimate is decision fatigue. One of
Hmm.
the reasons offering is so powerful is that the more decisions your opponent has to make in a day, in a game, the worse those decisions will become over time. That's why when people think, "Oh, I'm so exhausted at the end of a day," yes, you're using energy, but the real issue is that you've had to use brain power all day to make tough decisions. And now this card forces you to make that decision, which just puts more fatigue on yourself rather than on your opponent.
Oh yeah, I can definitely see that.
That's a meta piece right there, but it's very small that hyper competitive players will think about.
Yeah, I'm excited to see more Hirudegarn support because it's fun. It's green instead of blue. Maybe there are multicolored cards in this set, so maybe we see some like blue-green Hirudegarn, a revival,
Mm-hmm.
because he
I mean, you
revives.
could ramp if you decide not to do the 9-drop stuff and you just play like whatever all the green stuff is and then the remaining blue stuff. Because this doesn't say anywhere about which leader you have. So for
We
those that think that the Hirudegarn leader is not up to stuff, I don't know why. It's a +2 on the back.
Yeah, the leader's great.
Leader is very good, and it's an untapped 2. It's a blue leader, so you get D magic and. Ugh. All right. All right.
I guess like one thing I'll point out quick is because we're still speculating, we still don't
Uh-huh.
know if there could be more blue Hirudegarn cards coming out also in this set. And then
Yep.
like blue green, like I said, like we still could see a lot. We can just assume for now they just keep it all one color. But yeah.
It's hard to
Uh
say. Draft
Yellow.
boxes can be all over the place.
Here you go, Dane. It's your boy,
Yeah,
Icarus,
higher dragon,
Higher Dragon.
kind friend.
This
This
is
is a not very good looking super rare.
it's not at all.
Yeah, the
It's
bubbles might look a little better in person, but on this they look really silly. And the background is just like it's like Magicant from Earthbound slash
yeah,
Smash. It's
but
it's really just kind of whatever. But the effect of it is pretty
yeah,
good. The only thing that
this card is
go
why
ahead,
I think the draft box is supporting a lot of outside of
older
itself and
archetypes,
not like its own archetypes, kind of like
all
Multiverse
the others.
was, right?
Yeah.
Multiverse was pretty its own archetypes because they changed a lot of universe colors around. And
Hmm.
the was it 4 just kind of had a bunch of. I like 4 because all those cards were like just weirdly generic.
Hyper generic, yeah.
Yeah.
So higher dragon here is just like you comboed with a monster with this card. Oh no, if only your leader got something for doing that. Oh, darn. Um, and then you just spend an energy and you play 2 more things. The only reason this card is probably like a 2 of instead of a 4 of is because it requires it to be your opponent's turn, which is not as good. Um, Effectively, the only time I would like really do this would be late game just to pull more skillless out. Because I maybe on turn 2, if you're going first, I could see it, but most of the time you'd rather just be playing stuff on your turn because you have Kid Koos to play, you have Saiyan Scions to play, you have Broken McGee Piccolo to play. Um, like there are cards that will make this very powerful, and since it's not leader restricted, this could be see play in something like Skillless Go Kidku.
Yeah, it doesn't even have like color leader specific. It's just yellow energy and yellow skillless cards.
So yeah, yellow Skillless is actually it doesn't even specify yellow Skillless, by the way.
Oh, it doesn't
Um,
it? Oh, it
no, it just says
doesn't.
two
Oh man,
Skillless.
basically need yellow energy.
So so I think that like yellow Kidku could still be good because I am what's the card? Jackie Chun,
Oh,
world champ thing.
I'm the world champ.
I am the world champ. 1 energy, draw 2. That seems pretty good.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Um, yeah, so that's just like pretty good. It's an okay card. It will see, or it's a good card, but it will not see that much play because it's not very versatile. So it's not going to be a 4 of like the kind buddy and or best buds and the vanilla.
You want to know where I want to play this card for fun?
Where
Might be fun. Might be good.
Jackie
U6,
Chun, U6.
Caulifla.
Ooh,
You can
okay.
evolve.
over both of them. Yeah,
over both of them. You combo this, pay 1, get 2 cards. You game and grab a blue, and then combo with the blue, and then play Videl Champa, not Videl, Vados Champa.
interesting.
Yeah.
2 for 1 is good, guys. It's one
Number
card for 2 cards,
number 88. Oh, these are really far down actually.
which means that we're probably getting more
Gohan's
thick stuff. Because where's Slug? He's like
90. He's
82,
92. That
92.
might be it for Slug then. No,
No, so it'll be slug. It'll be a couple slugs and then Slug Army after him.
they might. I think they are above him or after him. Oh yeah, yeah, a couple of them.
So I mean, but we'll just see. That's a little hard to make that speculation because having only 2 numbers is not great. Once we see like 3 or 4, maybe
Yeah,
5 numbers, then it becomes pretty easy.
for
But
sure.
Slug,
Slug, unique and barrier. I'm glad he has unique. Also, it's great he's 3 because if you can just grab this guy with the Namekian Searcher, assimilate.
that'd
Because
be silly.
because
But
Bond 2 permanent. When he's in rest mode, your opponent can't add cards from their deck to their hand using non-leader card skills.
mm,
That's even
mm,
drawing for the turn. No, no, you still drop a turn. You still drop a turn. No, you don't.
because it's not a
This
skill.
card is in rest mode. Your opponent can add cards from their deck to their hand using
It's from a
non-leader
skill.
from a skill. So it's still applied to a skill. So you still get drop return and leader. You can't draw
But the
off ape.
important thing is,
Can't draw
yeah, you can't
off.
draw. You
You
can't
search
plus.
for
Like
cards.
you can't search.
Yeah.
And Slug, weird. It's almost like it's a hand control deck. Wow,
Wow.
synergy.
Green, yellow, slug. Wait, successor? Hmm.
Oh, Super 17.
If your leader card is yellow or a slug's army. So we look at that. Nice. You can play old slug. Maybe a reboot slug. Who knows? You discard this card from the hand, play 1 slug army with a cost of 1 from your deck. What are good 1 slug armies? You got the searcher. They're the top
Just
5, right?
nope.
And then
No,
and then
doesn't
oh wait,
exist.
yeah, you're right.
It's just
There's only
wings.
one choice.
It's just wings.
You grab
But
wings.
since since it looks like it's going to be green yellow, and I'm sure we'll also get another one drop in this set. It gives you the space to either charge a green plus play wings or a yellow and play slug. Kind of the way that AOD kind of gets to do like the choice with Hashiak and Bibity
Yeah.
is like you just have to search for either this or this, which means that you aren't hard mulling for wings right away.
Yeah, you just gotta find one of the two, because that's like one of the best feelings when I play AOD is having, oh, like there's Hachiyak, cool, I don't need to look for anything else.
Hmm. And so in this case, right, yellow slug right now, right, if you built a deck green yellow with this card, you'd include assimilate and great apes. And so that would be
Multicolor or no?
through. No, you would just charge a yellow because all the slug cards, even when they're reduced, still are like 2 greens and 1. I
Fair.
think Young Again is the only one that requires 3 greens, and I might be wrong on
And
that.
I think you would play this guy later in the game. So
Yeah, like,
you can charge the yellow like turn 4 then.
mhm. And so it's kind of like an okay spot, and you just kind of
Wait, I'm
want to
sorry,
make sure that your
second
opponent can't
yellow.
add
I want to
cards.
clarify. Second yellow card, because he's
And
specific
like,
cost 2.
and we'll have to see because sometimes I don't know if paying 3 energy is going to be worth saying your opponent can't add cards to hands when you could just like Ribrianne them for 2 and then still have an extra energy up.
Oh,
But
wait.
we'll have to see kind of how it sits.
I
Well,
have it.
because most decks aren't going to add more than 2 cards to their hand, so it's like, well, I'd rather just Ribrianne you, and then we're in the same spot.
The Lord Slug, I think, might be able to play him.
Oh, he does specify
Yeah. Just Slug's army,
yeah.
cost of 3 or less.
Ooh,
There we
ooh,
go. We found it. And that's,
ooh.
he comes down for 1, or I guess 2. I forget the Slug chain. I haven't played a
Wow.
lot of Slug in my day. You could run Hashiak and this and play Lord Slug AOD for 1, but eh. Then you get blue also for being, but
Well, maybe not
the
tricolor. That's a lot.
whew, Slug Surge? What? Nah, it's
Slug Surge.
there's some fun stuff to be had with Slug, and I know there's like a lot of dedicated Slug players in the
Hmm.
communities, in the large community in a whole. Like, it's fun. It looks fun.
All right, let's get over to
Black. Hey, we
black.
got a Unison, but it's not one of the campaign rares. Cool.
Interesting.
Kinda. 103.
Yeah,
Oh
this card
wait. Ooh,
is both
103.
really bad and really good.
Does that mean there's more Unisons coming out with
Are
with
Unisons
this
the
one?
first cards?
Yeah,
Are Unisons always
Unisons are
first?
right after leaders.
So then there's two more Unisons,
If they
or there's a black leader. There's
there's no
leaders
leader.
in the set.
There's not leaders in this set.
I know, but come on. So we'll
We
get
got
two
the
black
same
Unisons.
effect. I think we'll get more Unison maybe.
Also, and this is a really good permanent that they've come up with to prevent black Unisons from being broken and still being able to give them higher power.
Yeah, I like it.
Um, so this card can like for 2 energy and a card in hand, sometimes attack for 20k. I don't think this card's that great, but I do think it's really good in a late game black deck like Hatchiyak, where just paying 4 energy and then swinging 20k outside of your leader skill and then stealing something, that is good. I don't think it's a great card, but I think it's okay.
So your opponent's card bet breaks your Hatchiyak rules.
Hmm.
I
And then
like
on top of that, your opponent has to be careful because they can't let you add markers to
Yeah,
it.
I was exactly what I was about to say. I like she can add markers both turns because if they use a skill like successor or swap, that's still removing a back card from the battle area by a skill, so that she
Well,
gets a
on top
marker.
of that, has to sink some resources into it because the -4 is so devastating. Which means that's attacks away from Hatchiyak, which is what Hatchiyak wants.
Well, yeah, exactly. You get one swing a turn. Like, yeah, definitely Hatchiyak. I see this being really nice.
Like
I
I think this and Piccolo should be split at like 4-2 or 4-3 in Hatchiyak, but we'll kind of see how it plays out. I just don't think it's a very good card in other decks until we get another like hard black control deck. Um, like even Toa would rather just play the Vegeta that prevents your opponents from playing cards with stuff.
hmm It maybe if she didn't have that discard a card to use the +0, but then that would be pretty strong.
Mm-hmm.
Demon God Demigra, True
But
Power
this card is
Unleashed.
high key. This card's broken.
That's a 30k for Dark Broly. Just a FYI. I don't know if it'll go in there. I haven't really played too much Dark Broly, but
Um, I think it should. I just think the Dark Overwhelm part is makes this card really good because I think so. Immediately on pawn being played, it's like a 30k that draws a card and then warps a battle card. So that's like a +2. And then it attacks and it warps another card, and that's a +3. So like a +3 for 2 energy. Granted, it doesn't have any like protection keyword skills, but it's still 30k. So like not
it doesn't need the
everything
protection
would,
keyword.
yeah, like nothing necessarily is going to like hurt it really bad. Um, but it's just really powerful. And I think if you Dark Overwhelm it, 30k is a really big number to deal with on turn 2. So
I'm just
it
thinking
just becomes
Vegix
a
too.
Zamasu.
Like a the mid-range Vegix build getting this,
Just Dark Overwhelming it on
Dark
turn
Overwhelm
two.
in it turn 2.
Yeah. Um, and like it just attacks and it warps a card every turn. It's just draft box for Zamasu. It exchanges the in oh my gosh, indestructible for 10 more K.
We'll take that.
Except it draws on play and removes something. Still a 0-5.
Oh God. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I think this card honestly would be significantly worse if it was a 110k, but I don't think it'd be unplayable. But I think it's just a really good card.
I agree. Having Overwhelm so we can play in other decks outside of black, and then even better in black. Like this is our first Overwhelm Dark Overwhelm card. That's pretty
Yeah, to
neat.
have both of them, that's really cool to have the option for both.
Yeah. There's not much else to say. Like he's pretty solid. Like you just look at him
Yeah,
and
and
look
then
at
like
that.
the big piece I think is that we don't have any speculation to make because we can say that there's two unisons.
Demon Realm Saga. Neat.
You're getting, but it might not even be that. We might have a whole other archetype that we just haven't seen yet. So,
All Haru Majin stuff. All
all
right.
right, we got some multicolors.
Both from the same saga with only one color overlapping, but I don't think that matters too much.
Yeah, I think they just wanted to keep it within the colors of the thing. So, Son Goku, unwavering conviction.
He's
Its
great.
effect is pretty good, but honestly, here's the only reason I think this card is good, or not like the only reason, but the reason I think this card is great is because it's finally a red-green arrival that arrivals for green.
Heck yeah. Uh,
You know what this means? So decks like I think this is going to give rise to actually using Nappa Super Combo in a bunch of decks.
oh yes.
Specifically, I think like uh Vegeta, the upcoming Vegeta deck, if you're not playing the Boo Chain, you get to be
Oh,
really
Majin
energy
Vegeta?
efficient.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're basically just playing Demigra and then like the occasional crit Frieza and um
the Crit
other
Goku.
one that I can't Cells Kamehameha.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Those are like the occasional only like cards that you're spending energy on, aside from Ribrian's Apes, and then on your leader, once you're awakened, you pay one. This lets you play Nappa Super Combo, get 2 instances of 10k. You can make your leader a 25k double, and then you can make this dude a 30k double on turn one.
That's true.
On
That's
turn one, for only 2 specific cards in hand. That's not asking a lot. That's so good. That's
that
so
active
good.
battle is so good too. Place once per turn you can place one card opponent's combo to the drop, then choose
And
one
then choose
unison or
one.
battle card other than this card, getting 5k for the
So
turn.
so offensively it's an extra 5k, and then defensively it's a 5k and a um removal piece.
Yeah.
Like a removal.
Extra 5k on like the Kale or what's another weak red? I
Not
guess in
really.
general like the 10Ks or 15Ks like just so they
I
don't
just
take
think
hits.
it's just more pressure. Like we'll just always like it's effectively like getting a +1. If you make your Demigra unison into a 20k, now your opponent has to spend a super combo to get out of it, as opposed to a one card in hand.
Yeah, I like it a lot. And he's a Goku childhood saying my Italian
Good names and
heritage
traits.
is
Yeah, this
ooh.
is a child. um, I just think this card's really good. I'm really impressed with it. Good job, Bandai. Thank you for giving a red green a rival for
And a
this.
rare. Like it's good. Like I
Things we're
like it a
now
lot.
at thinking about what this does. They usually do arrivals all at the same time, and then they do like non-arrival stuff at the same time. So we need a green yellow arrival that arrivals for yellow.
Yeah.
We need a red blue that arrives. Oh no, we do have a red blue that arrives for blue because we have Boo Hercule, and then we have maybe if it had more keywords. Boo Hercule's a little more like utilitarian
Yeah. I guess just more rival in general that's generic.
ability, not
Because a
utilitarian.
lot of I think we need more blue yellow rivals because they were just all attached to U6. And they're still
Well,
attached to
but
U6.
both of them are both really good.
Yes.
Well,
Especially
three
the
of them.
hit Goku.
Hit Goku is nuts. It arrives for blue, and then Bojack is also still really powerful and arrives for yellow. So I think blue yellow arrival is probably fine
Oh yeah,
now.
you're right.
Maybe if it had more of an effect, because those cards have like effects when they're on board, not necessarily on play. But
Hmm.
I mean, still great cards.
I would go for more red green arrival because just arrival seems to be red green
Red
seems to have a
yellow.
lot of red green. Oh, red yellow needs arrival.
We need a red
Yeah.
yellow that arrives for a red, because we have Beerus and we have Beerus, Baby, and
Wasn't Beerus one of each or is he two?
um
Or one?
the Kings. He's two. He's red yellow.
Yeah.
So he arrives for red yellow. The Kings arrive for yellow, and then Baby arrives for yellow. But Baby is just a 15k if you're not playing it in a Baby deck.
Right.
So
I'm blanking. Who's the kings?
King Vegeta and
Thank you.
Vegeta
Thank you.
Royal Bloodline.
Yep. Yeah, it's a lot of red, yellow for yellow. I would agree. I want to see some red
It's
for
very
yellow.
yellow. It's very yellow centric, which is a little eh. Because so if they're trying to keep up with like multicolor versus regulars right now, they can't have effects that cost both colors. They need to have effects that cost one, so you can still not charge a multicolor turn one.
Yeah.
Hmm. Cool.
Demon Wave?
This card kind of blows.
I'm not a fan.
It's
It could
it's
become good depending on
fine.
meta, but I'm not a fan.
Depending on meta, it's good in Invoker. It's a
Also,
counter that has a red, and like it's still solid just because it's a counter that red can use. Like if you're just playing a red blue deck,
yeah.
you can just 3 energy for a counter is kind of the standard that we've been seeing because we saw the cooler and that card sees play. The issue is that this is a minus to your hand, and the other one is a plus to your hand. That's a pretty big difference.
And it only also okay, this is picky. The art explosive demon wave. Yes, he does that on the ground, but this looks like the sky shot, and basically he doesn't even do an attack. He just dies right here. Spoiler.
He does get a hole through his
Goku
chest.
just flies through him right here.
Neat.
Uh,
Um,
it
Other
negates.
picky. It only battle card counterattacks. It's really
So like
oddly specific.
Topo. There's a lot. Okay,
I
there's a
mean,
lot of good targets, but like, it's not like
not in Invoker, because Invoker would want to negate regular counterattacks, which like I just don't see why this card was really printed. Because if it was a regular counter and it just did any counter skill, attack skill, it's broken. If it did a counter play skill, it's broken. But
battle
if it's just a
card
battle card
counterattack.
counter attack, it's really bad.
Because yeah,
um,
Apex. If you're going the Apex route, you don't care. So
Apex,
battle skills are negated.
yeah, but if you go Apex and you can just like, I'll stall the turn 6 and then get the guaranteed Apex attack to go through, that's so broken.
That
That's
too.
so broken.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh,
um,
then the catastrophic
it has the
blow
active
engine
main.
just kills you, and then what's the other red blue deck? I guess cooler, right? The Frieza clan
Yeah,
stuff. Like
but you're not trying to spend 3 on that.
no, not for the Frieza swap or the Frieza clan
Like,
stuff.
because especially I think a lot of people are really underestimating that Cooler is still red blue. You can just play Janemba Unison and use Trunks.
Yeah.
Like that's so good.
No, he's. Oh yeah, you can because you only
Yeah.
need. He's that's the hope slash is the leader specific. That's right.
So
Yeah.
you're
No,
just
that's
playing
good.
Trunks.
That's good. This is not as great. And then it
This
has
is
that
not
act
very
main that like all red
Not
blue.
even all of them. It was just all the ones in the set. All the cards that we've gotten since haven't
Oh
really
yeah,
affected
like
it,
the hit
but this
card and
card
Sleepy
adds
Boy.
it. Yeah, but this card adds it back, which is really neat. Plussing one is good, but it has to get in your drop area first, which means you either used it or you did it off a leader discard.
Yeah.
And I'd rather just not run this card.
Let's see, 116, 129. Red blue is yellow green's the last of the multicolor. So well, it's 116. We're not even getting 25 black cards actually. Because if I go back, 109 is the Migra.
Oh yeah, we're only getting 15.
Red green is the first of it, and Goku would be the first. So this is probably the first multicolor card. So we get in 15 black cards, or not even that. I bet there's actually. I gotta look at the
Yeah.
number of the campaign
Oh,
rares.
it'd be 101 to 115. So yeah, 15.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, but we're about to see the campaign rares.
yeah. We'll go look at the campaign rares. Okay,
Well,
they're
they're at the
afterwards.
end.
They're at the
Yep.
end.
So
Okay. Here's
we're
Lord
fine.
Slug Giant Force.
This card's so good.
Dude, these I love these arts. They're like this. They're too big to fit in their borders. This is sick.
um, yeah, the art's great. The theme is cool. I presume we're gonna get a
10.
green Rudigarn Giant Force,
No,
and
they can be whatever. Remember, because this slug's red.
yeah, but do you have another character that goes giant in green?
You,
Oh, I see
slug.
what you're saying.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Bergamo is on color.
That because he actually goes with the U9 stuff, which is kind
Weird.
of interesting. We get to that.
So that's a little
We're
speculation.
getting 10 of these. It looks like
10?
yeah, 10 campaign rares.
Oof, that's tough.
So like one of each
That's a
color.
lot. Two of
Um,
each color.
two of each color. Sorry. Like the Migra's probably gonna get one. Apes. There's an ape Raditz on the cover of the box art, like pack art that's been shown. So that'll probably be a unison. Ape Bardock will probably be a unison. I think there'll be a lot of ape unisons.
Yeah. So
Piccolos.
let's just talk about them real quick. Slug is crit, which is good for red.
It's
Pretty
2 cost.
unnecessarily said. Like it's red crit. It's on turn 2. 15k crit on turn 2. Your opponent's probably gonna take it. So basically you can just hit your opponent and then play a Bardock. Yay!
That plus
Um,
one, awesome.
yeah, discarding a card to remove anything ignoring barrier. It's -10. Yo, that's
That's
so good.
that's dumb. And then the minus
Red,
four.
if anything, red just struggles at the discard. But noticeably, you can just +1. It's you may choose.
Yep.
So you can just plus
You do
one.
not minus 10k if you don't discard, but that's fine. You just plus one, yeah.
And the -4 is pretty good. Basically means your opponent has to deal with it, and it's now a 4 energy way that Yamcha can burn pretty uninteractively
Oh
against non-yellow
yeah.
decks. Um, because if you swing in with like a leader when they're at like 3 life or 4 life, they're gonna start wanting to use counters, and it's just a counter skill. So like if you play this slug out and then like I don't know, you somehow trigger Bunny Girl or your opponent tries to do something and they want to counterplay you at all or counterattack, counter even if I don't know why. Um, you just burn them.
Yeah.
It's pretty
So
good.
I'm just gonna bring up again because I saw it in the Facebook already about auto timing and markers. The auto just means when this can happen. So like your opponent counters. Auto, you may -4 if you haven't done any marker effects this turn.
Then
Deal
if you
one.
do minus,
Yeah, if you do -4. If you want to activate the skill -4, then deal 1 damage at the auto timing.
so I just think the crit is really good on this card. I think if you're playing Pilaf still, I think this card is worth giving a shot. Maybe like a 4-2 split with Jiren, because this card is it allows you to play a very different and stronger game plan, even if you might not kill them as early, because you're not double striking, you're critting. So you deny them the resources when you get triple attack, and then you can also establish it on turn 2, and then keep up all that energy for turn 3 when you play 2 or you pay 2 for a thing and then you do that and then you just go off and like you could do it twice. I want you to think about this, Dom. If you have shoe out from turn 1 and then
Yep.
on turn 2 you have slug and then on turn 3 you do the shoe effect going into the boy into the gang and then swinging with all them and then killing them and giving Lord Slug triple attack and you do it and then you pay 3 for a Jiren, and you wait, or you pay 2 more, and then you awaken, and then you pay 3 for a Jiren, and then you swing again, and then you drop a ball again, and you give Jiren triple attack.
Like there's a lot of swings coming out of Pilaf. Pilaf is just getting like more and more fun stuff to add to it. Like we said earlier with the playing all those cards for free. You don't get the triple attack, I guess, because we used crit already.
Oh, because
But
it's also only once per turn. Yeah, you're right. Never mind. I
yeah,
forgot that the lead goes once per turn. Either
yeah,
way, still crit triple attack in red. I think is going to be better than double strike, because you want to deny your opponent resources because you don't have many resources.
correct.
So it'd be better to deny them because what happens a lot of time I find when you're playing Pilaf is you just get out of just enough attacks and then you just like take 4 damage from Jiren, but you just added 4 cards to your hand and you're like, all right, well now you can't win. You're too far behind in number of cards in hand.
I like that game plan. That sounds like a good game plan. And then
So
you
Slug
get
is
anti-counter effects.
Yep, you get any counter effects. You get a um the removal. So like if there's a card that like prevents a number of attacks or against AOD, Garlic is a really good floodgate. If you just go um no no bobbity, cool. Thanks. And it's
Honest,
red. So right. So you get to discard a card. You can just throw away your Yamcha without comboing it. Oh,
yeah. Honestly, I think the super rare Bardock from the set 11 could be pretty good with this guy turn 3 when you're if you're in a good spot.
ooh.
Yeah, add 3 markers to him
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
because he's double
Dang,
strike
Dom
on
is out
his
here
own, right?
big braining.
I try.
No, he's just a 20k deflect,
Both for
but
3. Is he 3? 4.
three.
3.
He's
Yeah,
three.
yeah, yeah.
He's three, and he adds three
3
markers.
markers. So that's turn 3. You're at 5 markers on Slug. You don't even have to do the +1. Now you're just saved to -4,
No, you're
whatever.
at more than that because you established it on two. Oh, unless you're saying you just do it that turn and then you awaken.
Yeah,
Sure.
and then you're just sitting there like, I have -4 live. Like, you gonna topo me? Take
Hmm.
that damage. Like it's still early where they'll probably take the damage, but now they have to like you can just establish more counters on them.
Which is really good. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I believe. See, we already said it. One day Bardock will be good. We just didn't think that day would be right now.
Right.
Bergamo, Giant Force.
He's
Card kind
cool.
of
I like his
sucks.
theme. His theme's
I
cool.
mean, the theme's cool. I just think this card kind of sucks.
Yeah, his targets right now aren't too great. I bet, you know what? Because
I
he is
think
a
they're
giant
great, but
character.
why are they in rest mode?
Oh yeah.
Why, like, why
Ugh.
would I play Row in rest mode because he then doesn't get to attack? I don't want to play Chapil in rest mode because then my opponent can just clear him in different ways. Um, and it's just like he's not powerful enough to attack you on his own. If anything, he's good because
One drop that does
he
something
lets
better
you
than
he
Broly.
yeah. It's a one drop, which means that you can just put Vegeta online right away. Because Vegeta's really good. Like I know people think that Frieza and Trunks are broken, which they are, but Vegeta's not very far behind. It stops two attacks for one card in hand. Like even on cards with deflect, you can still just play him and then he's a blocker.
Yep, exactly. His target skillless, -2 to skillless. The fact he's +3. I'm sorry, I'm jumping around, but the fact he's +3 per marker, like turn 1 he's a 6k, and then if they try to swing at him with a 10k,
You mean an 8K?
oh 8k, I'm sorry. They still swing at him with
Eight,
a
and then
10k.
he goes to 11.
Yeah,
So he doesn't die to a 10K swing.
15 still hit him. But then like if markers go on him pretty quickly, like he gets really big. But he also
He's
like
just
makes it
really
awkward because of the
he's
numbers.
got the longevity, and I
Hmm.
think that's really important. Gotenks notably doesn't really do anything turn one, so like this card could just see play in Gotenks, and then like three or four of this, and then the two or three Meki Kabura,
I can be down with that. Skillless battle
just
card's
to
weird.
have the yellow things live, and then since you're already probably playing Universe 9 Assemble, you can play this as well and play the Rose and the Basils.
Yeah, get your trio out there pretty quick. It does play the super rare, but yeah, it comes out in rest mode.
Hmm.
That's kind of meh. For minusing two, you're taking out 6k power on your card.
It's like it's very weird.
We'll have to see. We have to see what kind of combos to go with it. It does help you set up more successor plays because you can just grab. I guess it's any skill. It's also you can grab the yellow
No,
Universe 9.
it's gonna be two or less.
Two or oh, it
I think
helps you.
it's
It's some number fixing for successor.
certainly.
Like you're at 10, you're like, okay, cool, 12.
I'll grab a two, or if you're at 11, you can just go grab Basil.
Yeah. I
So
think yeah, it'll probably be played with because people love their wolf boys. Um, I think like maybe because I don't have enough experience with the Universe 9 stuff off top of my head or like seeing a lot of it, like it just feels meh. I guess if you're running like blue yellow trio to danger field, it you set that up faster. I don't
Hmm.
know. I really don't know. It's kind of weird.
So
I like the theme. I like the card. I
the
just don't know
card
how
looks super
I
good.
don't
I
know
think
how
this is one
good
of
the
the
card
best
is.
looking unisons
Yeah,
that we have.
the fur in the CG art really pops. It looks less awkward than the other cards because of the fur, I think.
Yeah. All in all, this whole draft box is looking fun. We can't really
Supposedly,
tell if it's generic or it's support. I have no clue.
right. And supposedly, they said in the GTS that they're going to keep printing it. You know, as long as there's demand, because for some reason, I guess there wasn't enough demand for older sets to pre-print them. If there's demand, they'll keep printing them.
Mm.
So, say there's demand, tell your distributors, tell your stores, like we want more packs coming out, to tell the distributors we want more packs coming out.
And I please just print
Just,
this in a
just
regular box. I don't want to spend $99 for the same amount of packs.
right for 24 super rares and 10 campaign rares, and
Like it.
it's hopefully with the announcement of the evolution battle packs or whatever those called, that this could be the end of draft boxes, because that's the same timing as draft box 5 came out.
We'll see.
We'll see. Let's hope draft boxes are like this one at least, like it looks good. Like nothing looks like it'll jump up to like big numbers and pricing.
Absurd prices
But
right away, but
we kind
we'll
of
we'll
said
have to
that last
see
set, I think, too. But
because they didn't say Obuni was. Obuni sat at $10 to $15 for a couple weeks, and then was $20 for months, and then now it's $60 to $70.
yeah, so hopefully they just keep printing draft box if they want to support that format where you can get a Nationals invite, but you can't play it anywhere else besides the one event. So how do you practice drafting besides reusing the same cards?
It's also you also like can't practice drafting. That's a really hard thing to practice because the packs are sealed.
Yeah,
So it's like entirely based off of your skill as a player, and you can't. It's really hard to practice. You can theory craft it, but you can't like literally put yourself in more situations that way
you
without spending a lot of money.
right, because you can get more of the packs, but you can also randomize the cards, and then they like there. I know there's some companies that do this where they like make little draft like reusable packs. They have like they just put a number of cards in there, but then you still have to like
Mhm.
mix up a rare, super rare, whatever, put a pack
Like
in.
it's tough.
It's too much work.
You can do it online,
You could do it online.
but
That's probably the
it's
easiest
still
way.
random. So it's
Yeah.
like it's not like you get to say, okay, well, I'm gonna put this one. Someone will have to like make a thing. Anyways, Draftbox
That's
6 preview. It's exciting.
it looks fun. I'm not
We
as
almost
mad
have
with
to
this
get
one compared to the other ones, so
we have to get going soon because
locals
we
start
have a
for you guys.
locals.
I have a
You
wedding to go to.
specifically you have to open it, don't you?
I am going
Or do
to
you
a
have to
wedding today.
not playing at all?
I'm not playing at all.
Dang it.
I know.
You should leave your Broly BR swap and run over
My proxy deck.
people. All right.
Nah.
Thanks for watching, guys. This has been North Star Ball with the Draftbox 6 preview. Make sure to, if you're on Twitch, follow. We're probably not going to be affiliate for a long time. We just don't stream often enough. But if you're on YouTube, you can go ahead and subscribe, like. We'll probably end up sharing this to the main Facebook group, the discussion group. So anytime that you feel like we're doing a good job, just make sure to give more thumbs up every time we post. Make it see more traction.
Yes, please. All right. This has been North Star Ball. Have a good one, everybody.